Welcome back to Central News. Rotary has been around for decades and prides itself by doing good in the world through community projects. Newly appointed District Governor of 56 Rotary clubs in the Central North Island is Raewyn Kirkman. She joins me now. Raewyn, thanks for coming on the show today and congratulations for your recent appointment.
Thank you.
Now tell us, how has Rotary inspired your life?
Well, I think it goes back to 1991 when a friend of mine suggested that I put my name forward for a group study exchange team through Rotary, and that's a program where groups of young professionals visit another country and have the opportunity to see their vocation and practice, and they're hosted by Rotarians, and Rotarians open doors there that you would never have as a tourist. And that changed my life. Since then I've been an ambassadorial scholar with Rotary, so I've studied overseas for a year at postgraduate level, and I've since led a group study exchange team to Turkey a couple of years ago. So I've just had so many amazing opportunities through Rotary. So I guess being District Governor is a bit about giving back for that. Yeah.
So in your initial experience with Rotary, how did it open your eyes to what Rotary really is and what it provides?
Well, I guess I had probably the sort of image that a lot of people have of Rotary, that it's an old man's club and that it was an international organisation, and I hadn't really seen that much of it in New Zealand. But in preparing for those trips, I spent a lot of time learning about Rotary in New Zealand and what happens, what the clubs do around the country. And so it really opened my eyes to the local aspect of Rotary. And you know, if you look around towns, particularly small towns in New Zealand, you'll see Rotary projects everywhere. The skateboard park here, for example, in Matamata, it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Rotary.
So can you explain a little bit more about what your role is as District Governor?
I guess it's a combination of administration and motivation, more of the latter, I hope. So there's a certain amount of administration that needs to go on for the 56 clubs in our district, but my biggest job is around motivation, and it's around getting the Rotarians to understand, so there's a bit of education in there as well, to understand what Rotary is really about and to motivate them to contribute to that cause, which, as you said, it's about good people doing good around the world. And the other part, I guess, is around the public image of Rotary and spreading the word.
So how is that public image of Rotary changing so it's not just that older male generation?
No, in 1987 Rotary was permitted to admit women, and since then the membership of Rotary worldwide has gone up to 20% women, and in fact in my own club we're nearly 30% women. And so there are a number of women in Rotary now. There's younger people as well, so we have members in our club who are in their 30s. And of course there's also Rotaract, which is for younger Rotarians, younger professionals, and Interact, which is Rotary in schools. And so we need to challenge the view that Rotary is an old boys club, because it certainly isn't.
So you are getting these younger ones in and you are getting more females in. How far behind is the actual image of it changing though?
I guess it is sort of, there is a time lag, and we need to talk about Rotary more and challenge that view. And as I'm going around talking to the clubs, I'm challenging them or daring them to have a conversation every day with a non-Rotarian about Rotary. And if every Rotarian in New Zealand did that, that would be 3 million conversations this year about Rotary. And you know, that would go a long way to changing our image and reinforcing the view that Rotary is actually a very inclusive organisation. It's for anybody.
And how is Rotary trying to appeal to the younger generations, like the youth?
Well, Rotary actually is very focused on youth. A lot of our programs are for youth. So we have 8,000 students, high school students, every year around the world visiting another country under our Rotary Youth Exchange banner. We have 800 young professionals going on group study exchange visits to other countries. We have nearly 1,000 ambassadorial scholars studying. We run Rotary Youth Leadership Awards for young people, Rotary Youth program of enrichment for high school students. So a huge number of our activities are actually focused around youth, and that's because we think that if we can get youth understanding about international goodwill and peace, then in time that will be what happens, and that's really what Rotary is about, is international understanding, goodwill and peace in the world.
So then how important is it that we have Rotary in our communities?
Oh gosh, if you look around at communities and see what Rotary does, here in Matamata there's the skateboard park, as I mentioned before. There's the Kauri Grove out at the end of Burwood Road. There's just so many things in every town that wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Rotary. And a lot of the clubs either work with other organisations to do things in town, or they raise bucket loads of money to give away. $1.2 million a year just in our district alone, raised by Rotary and given to good causes.
I guess there's lots of people out there that don't know about Rotary and how it can even benefit them, or that there's all these things happening without them even knowing it. Well, I
suggest they Google Rotary or call 0800 4 Rotary.
Fantastic. Well, thanks Raewyn for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Get involved with your local Rotary Club. It doesn't take much. That is the end of today's show. If you have a topic you would like discussed on our show, email it to us here at news@tvcentral.co.nz or visit our website tvcentral.co.nz, where you can also upload photos and footage. I'll be back tomorrow with more guests from in and around the region. I'm Karina McKinley. Have a good evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand.